We've had many recent volcanic eruptions, but most of us don't think of what's happening down under in Antarctica. Earth's largest volcanic region is Antarctica. It has 91 volcanoes, and they lie hidden 2 kilometers below the Antarctic ice sheet. A team of scientists unearthed a volcanic region. It was previously hidden under ice sheets, with the geologists who led the team warning of destabilizing consequences. Edinburgh University researchers uncovered almost 100 volcanoes, with the highest almost as tall as Switzerland's Eiger volcano, 3,970 meters high, about 10,000 feet. Geologists think the region, which sits 2 kilometers below the ice in West Antarctica, that's where most of the volcanoes are on the west coast of Antarctica, will dwarf East Africa's volcanic ridge, which is rated as the world's densest concentration of volcanoes. Africa also has the tallest volcano of the world, Kilimanjaro. Now, glacier expert Robert Bingham, who helped author the paper, warned The Guardian the range could have worrying consequences. He says if one of these volcanoes were to erupt, it could further destabilize West Antarctica's ice sheets, obviously. Anything that causes the melting of ice, which an eruption certainly would, is likely to speed up the flow of ice into the sea. He says the big question is, how active are these volcanoes? And that's something we need to determine as quickly as possible, he says. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. The Edinburgh Volcano Survey, featured in the Geological Society's special publication series, examined the underside of the ice sheet for hidden peaks of basalt rock similar to those produced by the region's other volcanoes. Over the past century, explorers reported sightings of the tips of the volcanoes which reach above the ice. The survey team's youngest member, Max van Dijk de Vries, is a volcano fanatic who would not stop wondering how many tips lie below the ice as well. An undergraduate at the University School of Geosciences, he set up the project with Dr. Bingham. And they used ice-penetrating radar carried by planes and land vehicles to analyze measurements made by previous surveys and survey strips of West Antarctica ice. Dr. Bingham explained the results were compared with satellite and database records and geological formation from aerial surveys. He said, essentially, we were looking for evidence of volcanic cones sticking up into the ice. After collating the results, the team reported 91 previously unknown volcanoes, adding to 47 others discovered over the previous centuries by explorers. These newly discovered volcanoes range from 100 meters to 3,850 meters high, so they could be low, they could be huge. They are all are covered in ice, sometimes in layers that are more than 4 kilometers thick. Dr. Bingham was shocked to find the active peaks concentrated in the West Antarctica Rift System, which stretches 3,500 kilometers from Antarctica's Ross Ice Shelf to the Antarctica Peninsula. He said, we were amazed. We had not expected to find anything like that number. We have almost trebled the number 3 times the number of volcanoes known to exist in West Antarctica. We also suspect there are even more on the bed of the sea that lies under the Ross Ice Shelf, so that I think it is very likely this region will turn out to be the densest region of volcanoes in the world, greater even than East Africa, where Mounts Nyiragongo, Kilimanjaro, Longonot, and other active volcanoes are concentrated. The volcanic activity could have crucial implications, of course, for our Earth. If one of them erupts, it could further destabilize the ice sheets in the region, where global warming has already had an impact. Dr. Bingham's fear is that the Antarctica Ocean's meltwater outflows will cause sea levels to rise, obviously. He says, we just don't know about how active these volcanoes have been in the past. The most volcanism that is going in the world at present in regions that have only recently lost their glacial covering after the end of the last ice age. These places include Iceland and Alaska, he said. Theory suggests that this is occurring because without ice sheets on top of them, there is a release of pressure on the region's volcanoes and they become more active. Significant warming caused by climate change in West Antarctica has already affected its ice sheets. If they reduce significantly, this could release pressure on volcanoes lying below, as happened in Iceland and Alaska. Now, this would lead to eruptions that could further destabilize the ice sheets and enhance sea level rises, something Dr. Bigham is keen to monitor. He says it is something we will have to watch closely. Okay, now this is by Sebastian Murphy, Bates Daily Mail, Unbended Reality. Let's take a look at what's happening there and how some volcanoes on that area are inflating, according to Volcano Discovery. Volcano Discovery, Volcanoes of Antarctica, they only have the original old 47 listed. They don't have the other 100 that were found recently by the University of Edinburgh. But this is one of the maps, and I found one that's code red. Okay, this one here, code red. You can see that they're on the coast. Code red is, that's around McDermott Station. These are the volcanic islands in that bay. That's Mount Erebus. Mount Erebus, 4 out of 5. March 2020 update. 12,000 some odd feet height. And there you go. Earthquakes ongoing. Okay. Sorry, the church bell. Okay, this is February 2009 image. Mount Erebus erupting, 4 out of 5. We see that we have a lot of information concerning what's going on in the northern hemisphere, a ring of fire, but we don't realize that the Mount Erebus is also erupting. Now, what about this one? Michael Volcano, thermal anomaly in the summit. This is again November of 2020. Images from November 6 shows that continuous elevation of surface temperatures in the summit crater were identified. And this is it right here. Satellite image shows a continuous elevation of the surface temperatures and the summit crater were identified. Gas steam plume were observed in the satellite images. Could be a result of low-level Strombolian activity. Okay, do we have any latest nearby earthquakes? We don't have that many GPS stations. I only have one in the northern part of it. Okay, it's code yellow. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's go to the GPS. This shows us all the GPS stations of the world, so I was trying to figure out what's down there. This one is North Pole. This one is the North Pole above Iceland, and look at this, it's going northwest. It's going northwest, and it's really inflating from 2010 up to now, really inflating that area of the Arctic. Now let's go to the, I guess the one that's closest to Antarctica is this one here. It doesn't have very good information. This one is going southeast, and it's inflating, but the graph is not very good. It doesn't have much information. Let's go around here. Again, this is going southeast, and it's seasonal to inflating. And let's take one around the top of it, the bottom of, okay, that's not going southeast, that's going northeast. Northeast. So what's happening there? This going southeast, this is going northeast. Where was it? Okay, southeast. Was it this one? This is what was it? Southeast, okay. And the other one, where was it? No, that's not what we had. That's deflating though. This is going northwest, deflating. So you see a lot of movement there, meaning that something could be increasing, inflating there because of the directions being opposite each other. Okay, so these are our Michael volcano inflating, as we said, and the various volcanoes of Antarctica. Erebus erupting, 4 out of 5, and this one, Michael volcano inflating. Okay, please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. As we said, it's the biggest volcanic field of the Earth. Thank you.